Hey YouTube, welcome back. Nice to have you with us. And today we're doing a little bit more part 2 of Brad's musings or my rambling maybe. Hey, it's Brad. Welcome back to Brad's Bread and Butter, and it's nice to have you with us. And thank you to those of you that have subscribed. We appreciate you. You are making a difference. I think that's great. And if you hit that little bell on the side there, you'll know when we release a new video. And leave us a comment. We'd like to know what you think. You like what we're doing? You think we're crazy? If you have an opinion or a story that you'd like to share, we'd love to hear that from you as well. The first one I want to start off with is sustainable happiness is found within. That has been so true in my life. People sometimes call me an optimist and you're always so happy and stuff. But I've learned pretty early on in my life, because as I said, I grew up in a boarding school. It's a different kind of life in a boarding school. You don't have your mom and dad around. But I learned very early on that if I'm happy inside, then that shows itself on the outside. And you have to make that decision, because I know that there are kids that grow up where, you know, dad beat on them all the time and it's hard for them to develop a good self-image. Yes, I was very fortunate that I grew up in a home where my parents loved me very much. But I think you can change that, and I'm sure we've all seen the movies where they had a rough upbringing and they grow up to be such a great success. And that's one of the keys, is that to find that sustainable happiness has to come from within inside you. And you can't live your life always worried and depressed and then put a smile on your face. So I just wanted to start out with that one today, to say that that sustainable happiness needs to come from within inside you. And it doesn't matter your circumstances. I know a lot of people who say, well, if you knew how I had to live or what I've been through. But you make that decision. No matter what life has handed you, you have to make that decision to find your happiness from within you. All right? And then along with that one is kind of paired this one. And I always say that your mentality shapes your reality. And I know that's a little bit of a cliche, but I really think that that's true. And I know if you're watching this video from other places in the world, you're going to say, yeah, you live in Canada. In 2019, the average net worth of a Canadian was $309,000. That was their average net worth. That puts us as the 9th richest people in the world, right? So yeah, it's very easy for me to talk about how life is for us. But I never lose sight of that fact, you know, that yes, we're very blessed to be in Canada and North America here, and to be in a country that has good infrastructure. So I don't let that be lost. However, it doesn't matter what kind of upbringing or family that you live in or environment that you live in, your mentality, and again, we've all seen the movie where the young kid breaks out of his oppression and his poverty and becomes, you know, a leading citizen or a millionaire or whatever. We know that's possible. But I want to take that right down to you today. I want you to realize that your mentality, how you see life, is what's going to shape your reality. You go and hang around at the bar all the time with a bunch of deadbeats, that's what your life is going to be like. Whereas if you go and hang around with positive people that are always trying to do something better in their life, that's going to affect your life too. I mean, I want you to learn to develop that and say that, hey, if I wake up and put on shorts and flip-flops and go hang out on the beach today, that's kind of what you're going to get. No, nothing wrong with that. It's a nice day at the beach. But also, some days you need to put on a pair of good pants and a good shirt and go to work, right? And you say, well, maybe I don't have a job right now. But, you know, I'll never forget, my son got his job once just because 3 of his colleagues were standing around together and he had a tie on and the others didn't. And, you know, that's the kind of mentality you need to show up with. Maybe you don't work in that kind of environment, I don't know. But again, your mentality will shape your reality. So don't let what happens around you dictate how you're going to be. All right. Now, this one is kind of a bridge, but I want to say this anyway, because sometimes we get all caught up with our goals and plans. But the present moment is all we ever have, okay? And I know we're big on this channel about plans and goals, and you got to have them when we try to execute them. But don't ever lose sight of today is today. And I know that especially as a young father, I made a couple mistakes in thinking I had to work so hard and didn't spend enough time with the kids. Again, don't dwell in the past, but make sure you learn from the past. And so now with my grandkids, boy, I'm quite a bit different. I spend a lot more time with my grandkids because I'm slowly realizing that, you know what? It doesn't matter how much you save for the future. Today is today. And make sure you see the roses. Make sure you see the rainbows. And learn to take today as it is, because this is all you really have a guarantee of. Okay, so you don't know if you're going to be hit by a bus tomorrow. So make sure that you enjoy today and that the present moment is where you live. Don't regret in the past. Don't be so focused on the future that you forget to enjoy today. Go look at that sunset. All right, here's one that I'm kind of noticing it more, but if you can't be kind, at least don't be unkind, okay? I know there's a lot of negative feelings out there right now and stuff, but you know, it goes around to something as simple as putting the shopping cart back in the place where it belongs in the parking lot. Cars are expensive these days, and I watch people just push their cart anywhere and then the wind blows it into somebody else. And I know, we just finished talking about how rich we are in Canada, how lucky we are. But maybe you don't have a lot of money. Maybe you can't be kind. But you know what? I see homeless people all the time. I don't have $1 million to give them. I understand that. But maybe I can buy them lunch. Or maybe a coworker is going through a rough time and you just need to take some time and go talk to them. You maybe can't solve all their problems, but just sitting with them and listening can make a difference. Maybe you don't have the capacity to help everybody out that you want to right now, but at least don't be unkind. A saying that I just want to leave with you right now, especially in this time of COVID where everybody's all wound up, and maybe you're for, maybe you're against, I don't really care. But at least don't be unkind. Learn to know that the person across from you is another human being as well. Maybe we don't know what they're going through, but don't be unkind, okay? Then I like to always drive this point home that failure will only be final if you quit. And this one goes into more than just your job, school, or relationships. I'm very blessed. I've been married to my wife for 35 years. But you know what? I don't know what you're going through. And maybe your relationship, you say, well, I was hurt in that one. I'm never going to do it again. You know what? It's only final and failure if it's the last time you try. So maybe you said, oh, well, I tried investing and I lost my shirt. Go back and get educated, right? Learn to do it a different way. Do it a better way, because the failure will only be the failure if you don't keep going. So don't quit. Learn from what happened, do more research, but don't let it stop you from ever trying again. And that goes as far as school, job, relationships, whatever. Just get up and keep going, move forward, because you never know what's around the next corner. Then last one, I'm going to kind of leave you with a little bit of a positive note here. The energy you give always circles back. My wife and I have noticed over the years, when you invest in other people, it will always come back to you. And you never know when you're helping somebody who really needed that help at the time. You didn't know what they were going through, simply by listening to them. There's another saying that kind of goes along with that. You reap what you sow. If you sow good deeds, do good things, that stuff comes back to you. You never know when or how. That's kind of the last one I wanted to leave with you today, that what you give will come back to you someday, somehow. I just want to encourage you to be net positive. Don't be net negative. I think that you're going to find that life gets better for you as you focus more on those positive things. All right, that's it for my musings and my ramblings today, guys. I just wanted to share a couple of those things with you about my life and where I've been going and the things that help me make it through the day. All right. Hey, YouTube, keep it in the green. Nice to have you with us again today, and we'll see you again soon.